I'm so excited to do this one. The Wizard and I is my favorite song from the musical Wicked. I love the arrangement. I love how it grows into the end, and there's a lot of cool acting in it. I'm really excited to do this breakdown. I'm going to celebrate and compare the original Broadway version of this song with the new movie version. We're going to go through it phrase by phrase, see what choices they made different. This isn't about pitting them against each other. This is about celebrating Idina Menzel and Cynthia Erivo, who are both amazing singers. This one's going to be a double header because I'm going to, at the same time I release this on YouTube, release my Let's Celebrate and Compare video for What Is This Feeling over on Patreon. So come on over and join my Patreon. We have lots of great community chats over there. You can bend my ear a bit more and contact me personally on next songs you'd like me to react to. And also you can support my channel. So come on over if you want to see that one. All right, here we go. We're going to jump in. My name's Tim. I've been a vocal instructor for the last 24 years. Building voices is my life's work. If you want to find out about my teaching team, my website's in the description. We do lessons all over the world. I've got some really cool musical theater teachers too if you're focused on that style. All right, here we go. Enough exposition. Let's get going. So when you see the images change like this, that means that I'm changing between the original Broadway is this one and the new movie version is this one. Most of you got that, but a couple of you weren't sure what was going on with that. So there you go.
Did that really just happen? Have I actually understood? This weird quirk I tried to suppress or hide is a talent that could help me meet the wizard if I make good. So I'll make good.
All right, notice already how poppy she sounds right here. In these Celebrate and Compare videos, which I've done a few of them already before. By the way, check my playlist. It's the first pinned comment in this video. In these reactions that I've done in the past, we've said, okay, the original one is more of a Broadway type of singing with more projection, more diction, and the movie one's a little more poppy, a little more introspective, a different way of singing. But notice right here, Idina Menzel is very much in her pop way of singing at the start of the song. Very minimal, very husky, very airflowy. She's not, did that really just happen? She's not like in like, you know, a jazz handsy theater type of voice here. She's very chill and minimal.
Did that really just happen? Have I actually understood? This weird quirk I've tried to suppress or hide is a talent that could help me meet the wizard if I make good. So I'll make good.
So notice already, Cynthia Erivo's voice has a different tone. In the lower parts of it, there's a little more depth, a little more warmth. She's got just a little more openness and just overall depth of tone, which you get through two things. Space inside of your vocal mechanism from that sort of back throat space, and also the size of your vocal folds. The bigger your chords are, the more depth you're going to have in your tone. You'll have a lower voice. And the more space you have in your voice, that also adds depth. But notice when she goes higher, there's a little bit of a tone quality change when she gets up into that belty upper register where it needs to change for the belt posture. So she's got all this warmth and depth, and then she goes up and it's like, oh, now we're into the belt voice.
Did that really just happen?
Here's that depth of tone.
Have I actually understood?
Hear that depth? Open.
This weird quirk I've tried to suppress or hide
So warm.
is a talent that could
Right there.
help me meet the wizard.
So when she went to could, you could hear her larynx slightly elevated, the chords closed, we had complete adduction of the vocal folds, and then could, and then that went right into her front resonance. She had more power, and she shifted into that posture. You've got to do that. She couldn't have taken that could, like taken all that openness up there. She had to shift. That's a vocal technician right there.
If I make good,
Yeah.
so I'll make good.
And notice her vibrato is a little slower too. Good is a little slower. Different, right? Cool. All right, let's go back over to the original.
When I meet the wizard, once I prove my worth, and then I meet the wizard, what I've waited for since birth, and with all his wizard wisdom, by my looks he won't be blinded. Do you think the wizard is dumb, or like Munchkin, so small-minded? No, he'll say to me, I see who you truly are, a girl on whom I can rely, and that's how we'll begin, the wizard and I.
All right, good. All right, let's switch over now. So notice she places her voice very for when I meet the wizard. There's a very fronted resonance is right here. She's not doing the when I meet the wizard. She's not opening up the back and singing down there as much in her choice of doing it there. Now let's check out Cynthia.
When I meet the wizard,
More depth,
once I prove my worth,
more openness.
then I meet the wizard, what I've waited for since birth, and with all his wizard wisdom, by my looks he won't be blinded.
Notice how by my, her vowels are more in a tall posture instead of by my, not as lateral.
Do you think the wizard is dumb, or like Munchkin, so small-minded? No, he'll say to me, I see who you truly are, a girl on whom I can rely, and that's how we'll begin, the wizard and I.
Yeah. Man, there's a lot more punch in the track. Like the production on this is just more, you know, it's got more of that state of the art, like let's make it really hit on those low frequencies. It feels more like a, you know, someone with pop awareness mixed this one as opposed to like, let's represent the musical in a recorded form. It's a different production on this. Notice when Cynthia goes up to the top, there's a little more ease in the way that she's singing it versus Idina's got more drive and more fire in her tone.
Once I'm with the wizard, my whole life will change.
Oh, hear that
'Cause
whole?
once you're with the wizard, no one thinks you're strange. No father is not proud of you. No sister acts ashamed. And all of us has to love you when by the wizard you're acclaimed. And this gift or this curse I have inside, maybe at last I'll know why. When we are hand in hand, the wizard and I.
Man, she's so good. Something I absolutely love about her singing is her legato. What's legato? Legato is your ability to tie or bind together the syllables in a phrase. The wizard and I, like that, just connectedness. Idina Menzel is so good at her breath support through the phrases.
Once I'm with the wizard, my whole life will change. 'Cause once you're with the wizard, no one thinks you're strange.
More open
no
inside.
No father is not proud of you. No sister acts ashamed. And all of us has to love you. And by the wizard you're acclaimed. And this gift or this curse I have inside, maybe at last I'll know why. As we work hand in hand, the wizard and
I want to show you something really cool here. Notice how she's making it her own on this part right here. Check this out. Check this out.
This gift or this curse I have inside.
That little way she said, gift or this curse. It's little things like that. When you know this song so well, when you've taught this song 487 million times like I have, and you notice those little moments, like instead of gift or this curse, she went, gift or this. She took a little more time. She made it her own. She defined that word in a slightly different way. And in musical theater, you've got to be in time. So the creative artistry that you put on it to make it your own sometimes is a little more subtle than the artistry you would put on doing a cover of like a pop song or something. She is brilliantly doing this little detail work of making it her own, which means she's connected to the text. She is a pro.
Maybe at last I'll know why, as we work hand in hand, the wizard and I.
All right, let's switch over.
One day he'll say to me, Alphabet, a girl who is so superior. Shouldn't a girl who's so good inside have a matching exterior?
Hear that bite?
And since folks here to an absurd degree seem fixated on your verdigris, would it be alright by you if I degreenify you? Of course that's not important to me. Alright, why not? I'll reply, oh, what a pair we'll be, the wizard and I. Yes, what a pair we'll be, the wizard and
All right, so that little moment when I was making a big silly face right there when she started in her head mix and then came out of it into her chest, I've used that as a teaching spot in this song to help people learn how to do what I call horizontal mixing, where you sing a note in one set of your mix, and then as you continue on in the phrase or on the note, you start changing over your mix from one part of your mix to another. And what I mean by that is she starts in a more airflowy, like a sort of falsetto or head voicey tone, and then as she moves through those same pitches, I think it's up on a C5, and she goes over and gets into her chest voice by the end. Masterful, masterful stuff. It's been a really good tool for me in my voice pedagogy with my students. Listen.
if I
Right
degreenify you.
Listen, head voice.
Of course that's not important to me.
Do you hear how she
Alright,
came out
why
of it?
not?
Do you hear how she came out of it? Me and the, of course that's not. And she just switched into a little more chest, but she didn't go full brass. She didn't go all the way into her belt. But she started at heady, then gradually she brought a little more chest mix in. Listen to that mastery right
Would
there.
it be alright by you if I degreenify you? Of course that's not important to me. Alright, why
Idina.
not? I'll reply, oh, what a pair we'll be, the wizard and I. Yes, what a pair we'll be, the wizard and
So good, so good. All right, switching over.
And one day he'll say to me, Alphabet, a girl who is so superior. Shouldn't a girl who's so good inside
More power,
have
more
a
punch.
matching exterior? And since folks here to an absurd degree seem fixated on your verdigris, would it be alright by you?
Let's see how she does it.
If I degreenify you, and though of course that's not important to me.
Good.
Alright, why not? I'll reply, oh, what a pair we'll be, the wizard and I. Yes, what
Ooh.
a pair we'll be, the wizard and
I like that little riff she added in there. So notice she didn't start the that high note there as quietly and then come out of it quite as much as Idina did. But yeah, we're like splitting hairs here, and we're just kind of observing the differences. It's not like, oh, Cynthia didn't do it as well. I mean, come on, they're both amazing, and this was just a subtle little detail I was talking about. Oh, so good. Cynthia sounds really good on this song. There's just such a great level of intimacy in the way that Cynthia is performing this song and this whole role, I'd say. Okay, unlimited section. Let's see what happens here.
unlimited. My future is unlimited. And I just had a vision almost like a prophecy. I know it sounds truly crazy. And true, the vision's hazy. But I swear someday there'll be a celebration throughout Oz. That's all to do with me.
Here we go. All right, let's do this.
Now
if you're a performer, you know how hard it is to do that long of a straight tone under that much air pressure and then have vibrato come in at the end of the note. That's like that's like one of the toughest moves. Being able to straight tone vibrato on a note that long, that high, that clean in such a clean way, and then add vibrato is one of the hardest things you can do with your voice. And that was masterful. All right, let's check out how Cynthia ends this.
Unlimited. My future is unlimited. And I've just had a vision almost like a prophecy. I know it sounds truly crazy. And true, the vision's hazy. But I swear someday there'll be a celebration throughout Oz. That's all to do with me. And I'll stand there with a wizard,
Bigger.
feeling the things that never failed. And though I'd never show it, I'd be so happy I could melt. And so it will be for the rest of my life. And I'll want nothing else till I die, held in such high esteem. When people see me, they will scream for half of Oz's favorite team.
Oh, I like that.
The wizard and
Oh, I am digging that. Yes, I love what she did at the end. Hold on. I have to hear that again. Yes! All right, that is next level. Next level singing. Wow. Wow. Now, one little tiny thing I do have to say, and I'm not going to go into it any more than this, I promise, but if you're an up-and-coming musical theater singer, you need to know that there's likely pitch correction on both of these. I haven't gone and done the deep analysis, and if you follow my channel, you know that there was a video I saw that turned out to be lip-syncing, and I was, kind of involved in helping Phil over at Wings of Pegasus uncover that it was lip syncing, and my ear is pretty tuned to pitch correction stuff, and I definitely know that for a fact there was a lot of pitch correcting in the movie soundtrack version of Wicked. It's just happened, and it's okay. It's a part of the music business. This is no judgment to Cynthia Erivo or Ariana Grande. Neither of them need pitch correction, and there's no pitch correction that needs to be added from the movie version to the soundtrack version, but all the sound engineers and producers at Wicked did it anyway. That's all I'm going to say about it. And, I'm going to love their singing through that because it doesn't, I know that they don't need it. So I'm going to comment, but I can hear that little metallic-y, digitized, robotic-y effect a little bit on her voice when it got to the end. And that's just one of those ding, ding, dings that it was pitch corrected. If I extracted her voice and then I did a pitch analysis, I'd probably see that it's a little too on the line, as Phil would say over at Wings of Pegasus. So his whole channel is dedicated to like pointing out when people are pitch correcting. I'm not going there with it, but I just want to say the reason I bring it up is because I teach people how to sing, and it's unrealistic to expect your voice to sound like someone's voice who's been pitch corrected. Like, your voice will never sound like that. Even when you work hours and hours on singing with perfect pitch, you're never going to sound like someone who's had a little bit of that Glee-esque digitized pitch stuff on it. So putting that topic aside, these performances were amazing, amazing. Both of them. Both of these performances were spectacular. I love them both. Now, there is a lot of polish on the new Wicked soundtrack movie. The arrangement and production, like the depth of the production, when you listen to the arrangement of the track, it's just so so well produced. And Cynthia sounds spectacular on this. I love the diversity of tone quality in the way that she's singing. It just adds a whole other layer of expression to this role. And I think that moving forward, that in the Broadway shows, they could do it with even more of this intimacy, even on stage in Broadway. As I've mentioned in some of my other reactions, like you think about musicals like Dear Evan Hansen. Dear Evan Hansen has as much intimacy in the way that the artists like Ben Platt and these artists perform that role that they do in the movie version of Wicked here. It's the same kind of level of intimacy. So it's not that it's not possible. It's just that musical theater has always been this a little more enhanced way of singing. It's a little more crisp diction. It's a little more, let me have you understand me in the back of the theater, as opposed to movies or pop singing where it's almost like there's a little obscuring. It's very colloquial. It's very conversational, the type of diction we have. Musical theater is trending in that direction already. So I could totally see Wicked on Broadway starting to be sung with even more of the intimacy that Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo have brought to it here in the movie version. But I guess we'll see how that goes moving forward, because it still is on Broadway and it's still being performed a ton. And I'm sure it's going to become even more active for the next couple of years because the movie came out. All right, that was super fun to listen to. What did I miss? What did you hear? What did you think about these two? What were the choices that they made that you felt excited about? What were the choices that you made that you didn't like as much? Like, we can talk about this here. This is art. Like, we're here to learn. We're here to grow. So let me know in the comments what you think. If you like this video, subscribe, click the notification to stay up to date. Come join my Patreon if you want to support my channel and join all the conversations over there. And if you need a voice teacher, website is also in the description. We'll get you taken care of. All right. See you soon. Cheers.